Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and welcome to the very first episode of Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. This is part one of a two-part series on this topic. I want you just to enjoy this and just understand this has been a long road that I've been going with this. But I want you to enjoy this. I actually pre-recorded this back in early 2021, but I had to kick off the new series using this. So enjoy. Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and welcome to the very first episode of Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we discuss sex, love, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more, while bridging the gap between them all and educating the world to a healthy sex life, language, and attitude. Well, today's topic is porn stars need love too. We will discuss how society rejects porn stars and sex workers not being deemed to be loved by anyone. We'll be back.
Honest, I have received a question from someone else, but they were a sex worker, asking me, is it possible for them to have a relationship with a regular person? And it is, but it's up to you guys individually. Are you going to be okay with her being a sex worker? And is that sex worker going to be okay with you being okay with her being a sex worker? I know this is something it gets more deeper than that, but truly you guys have to be strong independently without that other person. And then when you guys are with that other person, whether you're a sex worker or not, or in a relationship with a sex worker or not, you have to know that that person is just an added spice to what you got going on. You know what
All right, well, we are back. Welcome back to Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. And today I have a very, very dear friend of mine we met a few years ago. He actually shared something with me not too long ago that's actually hitting right on today's topic. I have my baby Rob T. How are you, baby?
I'm doing good, Naomi. I'm so happy to be here with you right now and to talk about this topic.
Thank you. And I know you've been watching some of the things that I've been posted up on IG, on social media, particularly pertaining to this topic that we're talking about today. And so before we start on how we got into this topic, I just want you to tell my listeners a little bit something about you and possibly how we met and connected.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So about a few years ago, I started working for the trade show Exotica, and we were in the Denver show. And I remember, and Naomi came up to my booth where I was at and had a couple questions for me, and I was a little nervous at first because I was like, oh no, this is Nyomi Banks, and I'm afraid something's wrong right now. There's absolutely nothing and everything. And we hit it off, and because I'm from the south side of Chicago, in the suburban area, I was wearing one of my White Sox jerseys.
Yes, exactly.
And that's when we started having a conversation, because you're from the south side of Chicago as well. So we just kind of clicked on that in different conversations and everything, where I used to work at and everything, and you were from that area as well. So it was like, okay, now we're kind of like getting along here and everything.
Kindred spirits.
Exactly. And then a couple of years ago, I moved out here, and that's when all of a sudden, like, we kind of like connected again on social media, and it's like, well, why don't you come on over and everything, hang out for a little bit and everything. So yeah, been and like one of my better friends out here in Las Vegas since I moved out here.
Well, I'm glad I can do that for my fellow Chicago fella. But also, he does a lot of great things with media and all that other stuff. But this is what I found out. So this is some tea that I found out. So we had like a little Christmas party here at the house for another one of my best friends who is a Chicago native, but his birthday is on Christmas. And we had a nice little Christmas party here. And, we was all sitting around and we was kind of chatting around about the tea, right? So, Rob is usually very quiet, soft-spoken, but when he told me,
I was being a little messy right there. But when he told me that he was dating a certain individual, we will not be giving that individual name, I was shocked. Not shocked because he was dating her. Yes, I was. I was kind of shocked that you were dating her. Because I guess I was being biased at that time. Because honestly, you didn't seem to be her type for me. And that was me prejudging her and prejudging you as well. So we're going to be honest. So this is what we're talking about today, about porn stars need love too. A couple of months ago, probably like last June and July, for my YouTube channel, I had a fan that wrote in asking for advice about dating individual. So this is, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to give you the gist on exactly what the letter was saying. So the letter was saying, he was asking advice that he had this really dope friend that he was very attracted to and something like that. But the problem was that she was a sex worker. The thing was that him himself was just getting out of a relationship that was toxic that he had been in for years. And he wasn't sure was it appropriate for him to try to date the young lady who was his friend because she's a sex worker. And I think that was his biggest problem of her being a sex worker. And should he go that route, to go to that place and to date her? In return, I had told him that, and I was just being very honest, very, very honest. And from my experience is that for anybody, man or woman, dating someone that is in the sex work field, you have to be very comfortable with who you are in yourself. And when I say this, and I think I said one word that kind of pissed a lot of people off, I said, you're going to have to check your manhood. Meaning that sometimes our egos get in the way, that we cannot go beyond that to really see the whole gist of the story of a relationship. And it has to do with a lot of communication and trust within that relationship. So if you cannot check yourself, and that goes for women too, if you cannot check yourself, then you are unable to be in a relationship with anyone, especially someone that is a sex worker that sells their body for a living. That you don't understand that it's a possibility that she can separate the two. And as well as the naysayers that's outside that will be judging your relationship completely. But then I also told him, you just got out of a long relationship that was very toxic. So really, are you ready to date? And I said that, are you ready to date? And I didn't think he was ready to date. So I told him to cool down, just be her friend, just chill, whatever. But by me saying that, that post got in a little uproar. That video got into a really big uproar. And I'm going to be very honest when I say this. When I put it up there, I knew I was going to get some clapback. I knew it. But I at that time, I was not ready for the clapback that was coming at me. And I'm not going to lie. I erased some of those comments in the beginning. I did because I myself took it personal. Being an ex-porn star, I took it personal. But then I had to check myself and say, no, because that's not why you're doing this. You're doing this, you put it up because you want to know their opinions. Because the thing is you're trying to enlighten and educate them on the realization of what it really is for some people. You understand? So that wasn't my truth, but it is some people's truth. So my thing is just allowing everybody to be able to tell their truth. So as I'm speaking in that, let me you tell your truth.
Well, the young lady that I did date, we did meet through the trade show.
Okay.
So when we first met and everything, first started off pretty well, just the different conversations that we were having. She was very open to me about her entire life.
Okay.
Did let me know about that she had a child, that, where she, when she started, her family, she said about her sister, her parents, everything. Like, we were getting very in depth with our conversations. When I would see her, it was always, good times, like really nothing to worry about with it. I also talked to her before her different shoots, so that like give her like kind of confidence, like you're good at this, you won't forget anything, you'll be fine, no worries there. It never bothered me when we were at the trade shows and we'd have different fans that approached her. I obviously met different coworkers that she had shot with, so none of that ever really bothered me. When she did want to take things into the next level, she did want me to see her psychiatrist in Los Angeles, and I was okay with that. It did not bother me because, like she said, when you're dating a sex worker, like you were saying before, you may not have, like, you got to check your ego at the door.
Yeah, you do.
So by seeing the psychiatrist, she was hoping that the psychiatrist could say, oh, you guys are compatible. This is someone you don't have to worry about. He's not going to go off on the deep end and just go like nuts and everything because all of a sudden, she's with a different guy because, that's what her job is.
Exactly.
So things started to deteriorate before we could even see the psychiatrist because I felt she was getting nervous that maybe, Rob may be the guy. Like, because I'm a very, like you said, you didn't think I'd be someone who would ever date a sex worker.
Right.
But I have a very laid back, calm demeanor. It doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, I've always felt when it comes to trust, like, I know it's you and me.
Right.
I'm not worried that all of a sudden, she's going to go because she was with a client or she was with a coworker. There's a totally different person. I've actually had those conversations over at the trade show that, you have the performer, but then you also have the person itself. And that's one thing, whenever I meet any performers at the show, I don't call them by their real name. You are your stage name. I have not earned the respect of you yet to call you by your legal name. Right. So when she did tell me her name and said, "Oh, please stop," you don't have to call me my stage name. That was one step I thought was in a very, very good direction.
Yeah, that is. That's a truly big step. And one thing I want to commend her for even taking it to where you guys are going to see a psychiatrist together, because that's like preparing her for taking the relationship to a next level. And I think a lot of people don't understand that especially when you're dealing with people that not only are sex workers but are celebrity bound, is that you kind of get uneasy about some of the people that you meet, because you don't meet those people as who you are before you became that star. You meet them as that star. So within that trust, and you kind of figure out, like, are they with me for me, or are they with me for that persona of who I built? Is this a fanatic love and not real love? So as, some of my audience of fans, or even the ones that the naysayers out there that, say things about different celebrities, especially sex workers and porn stars, it's hard over here too. It's very hard over here to find that special person or that special one that's going to love you genuinely for who you are and not what you're doing or what you're doing. I did have a question. I didn't want to cut you off, and I'm trying to go back in my mind and remember the question. Hopefully I can come back to it in a minute. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to read off some of the comments of the clapbacks that I got from that video, and I want to let's discuss that once I say some of the comments from there. All right, so. All right, so OMG is deaf. He says he's clearly a simp. He's probably her best customer, and she wants more money out of him. Shaking my head. Fellas, don't date no sex workers. Get the fuck out of here. Smash them. Keep it moving after. I talk about women like this on my channel all the time. The fact that she gave this biased answer is insane and extremely disappointing. All right, So I went to his channel and I had a look at his channel. Yeah, when you have those channels, and I don't want to kind of bash the channel, but you have those certain pages and channels that really love to bash women. And I don't know why you have these channels that bash women. I don't know if they had a bad relationship or experience or something like that or whatever. But where I came from, I have no choice but to come from that because, one, I am a porn star. Once I've dated throughout my career of it, and I know that it's possible. But not only that, but I did not tell what I spoke on was from my truth in my experience. And that's all that I can speak from. And that is why he wrote in and asked me. Now, you should not, let me say, you should not judge one on the career that they do. Whether it's a sex worker, drug dealer, a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever, because you don't know who that person is. Period. You don't. Everyone are humans. Everybody is our people, and I hope I'm saying it right and saying the word version. Are people. So the choices of their careers is their choice, and it's between them and whoever they God is. It has nothing to do with that specific person unless they're in a relationship with them. I guess my question is really what you think, why are people so pressed on not allowing, because it is not allowing sex workers, porn stars, and strippers to have a regular common life or regular common love, like they're not worthy of it?
I think it's a stigma. Mm-hmm. People just all of a sudden look and they see, okay, they went onto this website and they saw, oh, this is who she is. Mm-hmm. No, that's not who she is. There's two totally different people here. It's no different than watching a movie and you're a big fan of Brad Pitt. That's not, you like Brad Pitt, the character that he just played in this movie. You don't know him, in general. You mentioned, different, whether it's a sex worker or a lawyer, doctor. Well, aren't all like stock traders supposed to be these high and almighty people? But you have Bernie Madoff.
Exactly.
What makes these people so much better? I mean, they're more dishonest than an adult film performer or a stripper or any other form of sex work. Mm-hmm. So that's what kills me right away. Like you said, and this person with his comments, I mean, my first thing I was looking at, does he actually have a picture? Because most are faceless, let's be honest. If you have all that courage to post all those negative comments right there, more than likely you didn't put a picture up there and you don't want people to know who you really are.
Exactly.
Because it's just hiding behind that persona that you are on your YouTube channel.
Exactly.
So, but like I say, I think it's a stigma. They just see one thing and just think that is it for the person and nothing else.
Right. So let me ask you something. It was something else that kind of like really read up the word of he is a simp. I'm still trying to figure out what that is. Mm-hmm. What is that? Like what is that? Now for you, did your family members know of what at that time when you were boyfriend and girlfriends with her? Did they know of her job choice? Was that something that you told them, or you guys just didn't say anything at all?
My brother knew, and my sister knew. Okay. I would try to say stuff to my mom, but she kind of wasn't really like. I wouldn't say paying attention to it, but she just was like, okay. Mm-hmm. I didn't think she was taking it seriously at all, which I totally understood, at that point. Because at that time I was living in Chicago, and she does live in Los Angeles. Okay. So it was more of the long distance situation and everything. Mm-hmm. But like when my brother did meet her, he thought, wow, she's really nice, very, very friendly and everything, and seemed very helpful to the girl that she was with at the one show. So yeah, I mean, it was really no problem when it came to my siblings. They were just like, oh, good for you.
Okay. All right, so here's another one. This one is a good one. This one is a real good one. Walking behind the Lord ministry. That is his name. All right, so he said, this is the most ridiculous thing that I've heard in a while. Why in the world would a man date a woman who is in an adult entertainment industry? Excuse me. The people who date in the industry are dating others who are in the industry. There is nothing secure about this. This is the spirit of the Jezebel being manifested. Please do not listen to this nonsense like this. This will not help you in your relationship. Woo! And that was a minister. See, let me stop because I'm sounding like I'm getting ready to judge. But I'm not. I'm not. So I had to look up the word Jezebel in the Bible. And I was like, wow, I'm all of those things. I'm all of those things. I'm all of those things. And I said, shame on you. Shame on you. You're supposed to be a man of God, and you're judging in that matter. Because what I said in that, it was nothing wrong with what I said. I did not once call anyone any names or put anyone down. What I did tell him is that make sure that it's something that you want to do, but make sure you have yourself together first. Now, if anybody's saying that what I said in that is wrong, sorry, but it's something wrong with them. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? I am not trying to press any kind of agenda in the matter of, oh yeah, go date sex workers. But if that's what you choose to do, do it. And if it's healthy, then do it. My thing is all about bridging gaps for healthy relationships. Healthy relationships that you individually can deal with. You understand? I only speak from my truth, even in the matter of any kind of response, any kind of males that come in. And if it's something that I am not clear on, I will ask somebody that is more in tune or more educated with it that can possibly tell me what an answer is or make me understand what it is. All right, so the minister preacher here, I did have a long spill of things that I wanted to say, but I'm just going to say this. God is watching you, young man. No, but seriously, just because a person is in a field that you might not agree with doesn't mean that they are not worthy of love. Everyone is on this world is God's child. Do you understand? If they are not harming anyone, they are not killing anyone, they are not doing any of those things to harm those people, they are worthy to be loved. And guess what? It is not our judgment on what they should and should not do. That's between them and God. Really. And what I am really shocked and ashamed that you would even come on this page and be of a minister and say those things like that. No, I wouldn't be at your church. That's all I'm going to say. And that was a judgment statement. Sorry. It was.
I would say it's kind of interesting, though. I thought all the different churches and ministries kind of like banned like following any type of adult-related films and activities. So I was kind of shocked that he'd actually be on your page and everything, know who you are and everything, and making those comments.
Well, you know what? That was the first thing I said. I said, why are you here? Yeah. And somebody else said, why are you here? Somebody else commented on it. Okay, wait, why are you here? Before I got into the industry, I did research. And when I say research, I did research. I was looking at the stats. I was seeing who was the highest paid. I was doing it all. And guess who was the biggest consumers?
Religion.
Christian. Yes. So stop throwing stones at glass houses when your house is glass too. Okay? All right, so here's the next. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick little break for our sponsors, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to talk about, I took it to the IG, right? You remember I took it to the IG.
Oh, that's where I reached out to you on
right.
This one.
I took it to the IG, and I want you guys for a segment called Social Connection. And that, it was, what is the biggest assumption of a porn star? Sex worker or a stripper? So when we come back, we will find what some of those social connection followers of mine had to say. And I'm going to get, Mr. Rob T, his input on it. But we will be back.
Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and Sexy is Cosmetic is our official sponsor here at Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. So you guys make sure you go by sexyiscosmetic.com and let them know Naomi sent you. Get a great discount. They are naturally 100% organic, vegan. They sell everything from soap to scrubs to everything for you to keep you sexy always. Sexy is Cosmetics. Use the code AskNaomi for a 10% discount.
All right, well, welcome back. This is Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. I am Nyomi Banks, and this is Mr. Rob T. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good, Naomi. Thank you again for having me out.
No problem. Are you enjoying this conversation?
Oh, this is one of the most open-ended conversations that I'm excited to have, because there's so many people who are afraid to talk about this that all of a sudden it's like, okay, here we go. This is honesty coming out there, which is something that everybody does need a little bit more of.
Yes, and I'm glad that you are here, and I'm glad that you are sharing your story with us. Now, I know before the break, I had said that we're going to come back and we were going to do the assumptions with social connection. But what I didn't give you a chance. I was kind of doing a little all of this, so I didn't give you a chance to really have your feedback on what the pastor minister said. But I want you to kind of share a little bit more of your story as well with the beautiful young lady that you did have a relationship with.
So I was on my way out to Los Angeles for work-related ventures, and we were going to meet up to go to, first of all, spend time together, but also, like I mentioned, she wanted me to see her psychiatrist. And before we were even going to meet up, all of a sudden there became a 180, and I mentioned this earlier, where it became like, did she all of a sudden start to get cold feet in a way that she was going to be told by the psychiatrist that maybe there's nothing wrong with Rob. You know, he's very good for you, and it kind of, I think, maybe just like scared her up, where in her mind it was like, I never thought I'd be with this guy. So that's where all of a sudden I got, you know, as we were talking, the words I'll never forget, we have nothing in common. You know, and at this point it had been close to 7 months.
Okay.
How could you go on talking with someone and interacting for 7 months and then saying all of a sudden we have nothing in common? So I was kind of like taken aback a little by it, and here and there I'd reach out to her, and then it would always come back to, you know, I told you we have nothing in common.
Okay.
I was like, okay, all right, well, I'll move on to the next one. Good luck to you.
I got a whole bunch of questions for that one. Let me ask you this: would you ever? No, I can't. Yes, I can, because I want your honest opinion. How did you feel when that happened? Your true feeling.
Oh, I was hurt.
You were hurt?
Yeah, I really liked her. And that was the thing. It's like, I never looked at her as the adult film performer. I looked at her as this person. Like I said, she told me about her whole life and everything, what she had done work-wise prior to getting into porn, her family, things like that. I felt a real connection with her. So then all of a sudden, to just kind of cut ties right away, yeah, it stung for a while.
Now, would you ever date a porn star again?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I think the main thing is if you have a connection with someone. Like I said, I've been around the adult trade shows for over 10 years now.
Okay.
And see different ones come and go and everything. One thing that our friend Adrian told me the one time, he goes, the girls come and go. You know, you get used to that and everything, but the show, it'll be here. So it's sort of like, okay, you meet the different ones that come in and everything, and you know, you just have the different interaction right away. You never know, like, oh, is there an attraction to this person, or is this someone who I'm just going to be a friend with? And you know, so that's why to this day I have zero problems. You know, if someone else came across and all of a sudden we started to connect, yeah, I would definitely date her. Date another adult film performer.
Okay. Was that your first one that you ever dated?
Yes.
It was? Really? Okay.
Yep. My one thing when I did all the shows was I'm a professional.
Okay. I
am here to do my job, meet people. At the end of the day, this is a job. You don't ever want to get caught up with something else where, you know, it may be frowned upon. But it was really funny. I would talk to the guys from the show and everything. I was like, you know, she's really something. And they would all laugh and everything. Like, good for you and everything. And so it was yeah, it's like I said, with us with Exotica, we're pretty much a family and everything. But like I said, never wanted to ever jeopardize the show as, you know, oh, this guy's he's just
out
here,
here just trying to hook up with the girls.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so.
Hey, my sexy people. I hope you truly enjoyed the very first episode, part 1 of Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. The topic of porn stars need love too. Make sure that you subscribe, you like, you share, and you can even leave a comment down here on the YouTube page as well as our podcast. So remember, tune in for next week, next Thursday for part 2. Thank you. And as I always say, always keep it sexy. Be good to one another in your sex.